Hi, welcome to KH Recapped. Today we are going to summarize about a new movie called Troll. Before we start, please make sure to subscribe, like and share with your friends and family. So let's get started. Troll is a 2022 Norwegian monster film directed by Nora Tidemann, starring Marie Willman, Kim Falk, Mads Skjågård Pettersen, Gard B. Eidsvold, Paul Richard Lunderby, and Erik Vorenholt. It follows a ragtag group of people who must come together to stop an ancient troll that was awakened in a Norwegian mountain and prevent it from wreaking havoc. After the death of several protesters in the mountains of Dovre, the Norwegian government seeks the help of a paleontologist, Nora Tidemann, who teams up with the Prime Minister's advisor Andreas and Norwegian military soldier Kris. The three seek assistance from Nora's folklore expert father, Tobias, who in the past lost his job for his belief in the existence of mythical creatures such as trolls. The group determines that a 150-foot-tall troll is responsible for the death of the protesters, and that they must stop both the creature wreaking more havoc and their government exacerbating the situation. The Prime Minister arranges a military operation led by Kris. Conventional weapons only annoy the troll. Tobias tries communicating with the troll but is killed. Nora's idea of attacking the monster with church bells fails spectacularly, causing even more carnage. International news outlets have picked up the story and broadcast it globally. As the troll heads to Norway's capital Oslo, the Prime Minister orders a complete evacuation of the city. Nora loses her seat at the table and Andreas resigns his position after learning the government's plan to destroy the troll with a nuclear bomb on Oslo. Nora makes a last attempt to find out the truth about the creature. Tobias' notes led them to the royal castle, where they meet Chief of Court Rikard Sinding, who reveals the truth about trolls in Norway. Tobias had been right all along. These mythical creatures did used to walk the land. When Nora's father got too close to the truth, Sinding had him committed to a mental health hospital. The royal palace was built on top of the Troll King's palace after the Christians massacred his troll family and left him for dead inside a cavern in the Dovre Mountains. The creature is heading for Oslo in an attempt to return home. Discovering that trolls are sensitive to sunlight, Nora and Kris plan to expose the troll to have light from a number of tanning beds. While Kris calls on fellow soldiers to make the troll trap, Andreas asks his friend Sigrid at the secret government facility to delay the bombing of Oslo. Sigrid hacks into the military system to halt the nuclear strike. Nora and Andreas place the skull of one of the troll's babies in the back of the Queen's truck and lure him to the light trap. Nora has a last-minute change of heart, turns off the lights, and tries to save the creature's life. However, the sun then rises into a clear sky and kills the troll. While everyone else rejoices, Andreas and Nora wonder if more trolls are still alive deep inside Norway's mountains, destroying everything in its path. This creature sets its sights on Oslo and begins to march there methodically. To avoid certain destruction, it's up to paleobiology expert Nora. Destroying everything in its path, this creature sets its sights on Oslo and begins to march there methodically. To avoid certain destruction, it's up to paleobiology expert Nora Tidemann, the Prime Minister's advisor Andreas Isaksson and Captain Kris of the army to try and find a solution before it's too late. Complicating matters further is Nora's father Tobias, who knows more about trolls and folklore than anyone in these parts. Only, Nora has an estranged relationship with her crazed father and that may prove to be a sticking point. But can they resolve their differences to solve Norway's monster problem? During the first military encounter with the troll, things don't go to plan. Explosions and gunfire have little effect on the behemoth and it can smell the blood of individual soldiers too. After eating one of the soldiers fighting with the group, Tobias stands up and attempts to calm the creature down. Arms outstretched, he seems to be successful. However, another vehicle arrives and pummels the troll full of bullets. As it turns and squashes the people inside with a single boot, Tobias is thwacked with the troll's tail, sending him flying and crashing to the ground. Listen, my child. believe he says to Nora, and then passes away before he can elaborate on his words. After a failed operation involving church bells, resulting in the deaths and destruction of 3 helicopters, the Prime Minister gives a speech on TV to try and calm the nation.
Mange av dere har allerede hørt nyheten fra Dovrefjell, og sett det mildt sagt
She evacuates Oslo, declaring a state of evacuation and making sure the surrounding areas are completely clear too. Look out for one another and God bless us all and our fatherland, she says. And so, with all the residents leaving, Nora has a light bulb moment. She turns around and heads back into Oslo while en route out.
Statsminister Mobergs rådgiver.
Regnet med at noen ville komme før eller senere. Ingen overraskelse.
Believing a clue lies in the royal palace in Oslo. This explains the sending written in her father's journal, relating to the man currently residing inside. At the royal palace, Nora and Andreas are taken deep into the underground tunnels, where Sinding reveals he and the other officials destroyed Tobias' life in order to protect their secret. And that secret happens to be the skeletal remains of a troll family underground. Nothing is more important to trolls than family, and during the Christianization of Norway, the troll king was lured to the Dovre mountain and imprisoned, left for dead. Of course, the earlier explosives let him out and now he's heading back to Oslo to try and reunite with his children. How is the troll stopped? When Nora shines her of light on the bones, she notices it sizzle and comes up with an idea. Nora commandeers the Queen's pickup truck and phones Captain Kris, getting him into position. As the troll approaches and heads for the city center, Sigrid's skills come in handy back at HQ to hack into the military fighter plane system and prevent them firing missiles at the creature. Sigrid stops them from doing so, enacting a system malfunction from afar. With Oslo still intact and Nora's plan very much alive, Andreas gives Nora some words of encouragement when she doubts herself. As they head out, they remove the large tarp from the back to reveal the skull of one of the troll children found underground. After the troll smashes the skull by accident and realizes it has no family left, it turns its attention to Nora and Andreas, determined to make them pay. It chases them, just as Sigrid is found out for hijacking the system back at HQ. Nora just about makes it to safety, jumping out the pickup just as the troll arrives, ready to stomp on her and squash her to bits. Military vehicles surround the troll, and begin shining massive of lights attached to the back onto it. One by one they turn on, sizzling the creature. How does troll end? While the troll is stopped in its place, frozen by the uplights, Nora suddenly turns all the lights off and pleads with the troll to leave. Kris has all the men stand down and prevent firing. Go where you're safe, she pleads. Go back to the mountain. There's a moment of tranquility until suddenly sunlight filters up as sunrise hits, prompting the troll to collapse in a heap. Just before it completely turns to stone, Nora reaches out and touches the creature gently, watching as the eye closes and the threat is averted. Having earlier patched up her issues with her father, Nora decides they should call this area Tobias Boulder. Andreas also quits his job with the PM, deciding to follow his dreams of becoming a writer. Do you think there are more out there, in a cave deep in the mountains? Andreas asks, as Nora smiles and the film comes to a close.